Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I will be talking about how to save money and how you can stop that impulsive shopping that we normally indulge into. Now I wanted to speak about this because this is something that has been very close to my heart. I have been there. I have been one of the most impulsive shoppers ever, be it the mall or be it on an online shopping app, and I have come to realize that I have spent so much money into things that I don't need, into things that were just an impulsive buy and were totally worthless later on. So there are a couple of things that I have been practicing over past couple of years, and I realized of late that when you are on the internet, you have a plethora of information as to about skincare products and makeup products and home care products and lifestyle products, and you just want to have it all because we all agree that it looks very fancy, and the marketing is such that you feel that we all need it. But having been there, talking out of my own personal experience, I wanted to share a few tips that I've been following, and I hope you guys can make most of it. Now, just before I start, I just want to give a disclaimer here that these are the things that I have been doing. You may or may not necessarily agree with me. You can pick out whatever points you like out of all these points that I'm mentioning. You need not stick to all of them, but I hope somewhere in your life these points do turn out to be useful. Before we move into the video, I just quickly want to remind you to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification icon so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Also guys, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm really up close and personal there. I do share a lot of lifestyle and skincare related posts and content on my Instagram handle. I also answer to all your DMs more quickly than I actually am able to answer the comments in the YouTube section. So yes, make sure you're following me on Instagram, and I would love to have you as a part of my Instagram family. So my very first tip is that whenever you are emotional or you're upset, refrain from shopping. Now we are in the times where there is a lockdown and we don't have access to malls, but at the same time we do have access to our mobile phones and internet, which can be very, very distracting when it comes to all the kinds of marketing and remarketing all sorts of companies are doing. So when you are upset, maybe speak to a friend, or play with your pet, or watch a movie on Netflix, or just pick up a hobby, draw something, cook something, but just refrain from getting into an app that will help you shop, and at that time it may feel like a good retail therapy, but it won't be. My tip number 2 is refrain from shopping when you're bored. So many a times what happens is we're sitting at home and we want to just look into an app, or in the earlier times before the COVID-19 crisis, we would just go to a mall for the fun of it. You need to understand that when you are into a shopping app or when you're in the mall, you are in the middle of temptation. There are so many beautiful things, there are so many new products that are out there in the market, and very quickly you just want to look at it, you feel it's a whole lot good and you just want to buy it, but you come back home and you will regret that decision later on. So if you are bored, there are tons of things that you can do, like you can go for a walk, you can watch something again on TV, spend some time with your family and relatives, speak to a friend, do a video call with a friend in the current times, just play some games, but just refrain from entering into a shopping app or going for a window shopping, because it may lead to temptation and may lead to an impulsive buy. Third tip is try not to create an online account on any of those shopping apps. You can always check out as a guest user. What this helps you do is it refrains from you buying anything impulsively, because it's happened with me a lot of times that I've looked at a product, I've added it to the cart, but the whole idea of getting up and getting my debit or my credit card, adding those details, putting in my account details, has made me make a lot of hurdles till I actually make that purchase. And in approximately 70 to 80% of the times I've actually abandoned that purchase. I've not gone ahead with it. It was an impulsive buy. I refrained and I have come out of it victorious. So yes, it's very important that you don't save your card details, because what we're trying to do is we're just trying to create more hurdles till you actually make that final purchase, so as to you rethink whether you really need this product in all this time or not. The fourth point that I want to talk about is always shop with an intention. Make a list of all the products that you need. Go online or go to a mall or go to a shopping mart and only shop for the things that are there on the list. A lot of times I've believed that when I have made a list and I've gone shopping, I've stuck to the list and I've only bought things that I need. Whereas the other times when I did not make a list, I have sort of, gone and explored the whole shop, or I've gone and explored a whole online app, and I've added to cart things that I don't really need, and in turn made a lot of impulsive buys that I have regretted later on. The fifth point that I want to add here is refrain from getting added on any of those email lists. So many times what happens is when you go to a brand outlet or you are going online and shopping, they want you to sort of subscribe to an email list, and they will be sending you these offers. Always, guys, refrain from doing that, because these emails will always tell you about new products, what's latest in the market. You could do that for a couple of things that you're interested in. So for example, if somebody is interested in mobile phones, maybe they could subscribe to an email a subscription where it gives you the latest in the mobile market, but you need not do it for anything and everything that you buy. So what this helps you is you are not in the middle of the temptation. You are not completely always bombarded with information regarding these n number of products that are out there in the market that you may not even need. So it's better to stay ignorant and not shop impulsively. My sixth tip to you is that on all these online shopping apps, you must always disable the notifications. So let me just give you an example. Like as of now, there is a Nykaa hot pink sale that's going on in the market, and I have been receiving notifications since 2 weeks now, I suppose, and every day I get multiple notifications, and it's sort of asking me to go into the app and looking for the products, and some of my favorite products are on heavy discount, so I may still have those products with me, but it's still sort of bombarding me with information that it's the best time to buy, and the prices are very attractive, and I may give in to that temptation now or sometime later. So it's always best to have those notifications off on the online app. Whenever you have a need, I'm sure you'll go into the app and make that purchase for yourself. The seventh tip is most of the online apps sort of have this option to add to a wish list or save for later. So anytime you might have a list that you want to shop, or you want to shop for certain expensive products, you may add it to the wish list and keep going back to the app to see when is a good offer available on that particular product, and then go on to purchase it. That way you may not only avail of some very attractive discounts, but you may also get a few freebies that are always welcome, right? I'll just give you an example. So I had been planning to buy an Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Serum, which is a very expensive product in the market. The product costs around 7,000 rupees, and I had been planning for 1.5 years to make that purchase, simply because I was evaluating whether I need the product or not. The day I decided that yes, I want to go ahead with the purchase, I added it to my wish list, and I went back to see those offers, and I actually checked out with that product on a day that I received an attractive, beautiful lipstick which is worth 2,000 rupees in the market. So I think that buy was a steal, because I was sure I needed the serum, but I also got a beautiful product as a freebie along with it. My next tip is you need to make sure that you buy things that have a return policy. This is so important, you guys. I cannot even emphasize this more, because not once, not twice, I've been through this multiple times where I've actually ordered a product giving into the final price and a very attractive price, and landed up with a product that was not maybe at par with quality, or had some sort of a defect in it, or some other reason, but I realized that there was no return policy and I could not return it. So instead of actually availing a good offer and getting that product at a good price, I ended up paying a price for a product that I never used. So since a couple of years, I've made sure that whatever I buy, be it the smallest of products, until and unless they don't have a return policy, I do not purchase that product. Secondly, if you're purchasing a product from the market, from a physical store, you might want to keep all those tags and receipts with you till the time there is a warranty. Just make a file at home, keep those receipts, because you may end up damaging the product, or there may be a technical issue in the product and it may get replaced under a warranty. But if you don't keep those receipts, it's not going to happen anyway and you will end up paying more. Don't take those tags off until and unless you're sure of the fit, you are definitely sure that the product looks good and you are going to use it in the future. Just keep all of these things intact unless you have decided that yes, the product that you've purchased is absolutely the right product for you. My next tip is to sleep on your purchases. So you may have a cutoff amount in mind. Say for example, for some people it may be 1000 rupees, for others it can be 1500 or 2000 rupees. But whatever you are purchasing which you feel is of a significant value or higher for you, you may want to sleep on that purchase. You may want to rethink, you may want to reevaluate and check whether it's something that you really need. So if today I add a product to my cart, or I've seen something that I really want to purchase, I may sleep over it and think about it, or I may forget about it altogether. So it's very important that whenever you're purchasing that high value product, just sleep over it, think you really need it or not. If you've forgotten about that product altogether, the next day you didn't really need it in the first place. The next thing that I want to talk about is reevaluate your purchases. You might want to go back and think whether the thing that you're going to purchase is already with you or not. There are very high chances, and it happens with me in cases of maybe makeup, skincare, or footwear or clothes, that I have something very similar already with me and I do realize that I don't really need that product. So I've made these mistakes in the past. I've bought a couple of black color tops which were plain, and in the end I realized that I had like 4 tops which looked almost similar, and together they did cost me somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 rupees, which was really not required. I was more than happy with just one of them and would have spent like a fraction of that amount on that, and it would have done the job for me as well. So yes, just go back and think whether you really need this product, whether you really have something which is very similar and you're just giving into the temptation and buying because it looks so attractive. There are very high chances that you already have it and you may not need that purchase. Next, what I do is every time I plan to purchase something that I'm either unsure of or is above a certain value, I do share it with a friend or a family member who's close to me and whose opinion will not be just because they want to push me into buying a product. There are a couple of friends that do actually rationalize the purchase that I'm trying to make. They tell me whether I need it or not. They tell me whether it's worthwhile or not, and it sort of gives me second thoughts upon the purchase that I'm actually planning to make. Now this is very helpful if you're making purchases that are slightly more expensive than your regular purchases. You may have a cutoff for this, like say for example, if you're buying anything which is 5,000 and above, you would get an opinion from somebody else before you go on to make that purchase. A lot of times this proves to be very helpful. It really makes me look at certain perspectives which I don't think myself, but which comes from that friend or that family member, and makes me realize that I don't really need that particular product. So I save myself from that impulsive buy once again. The next thing, and something that I follow very religiously, is that I never ever buy a product without checking its reviews. So even if the product costs me 200 rupees, I go back, I read all the sort of reviews. I read not only the positive reviews, I also read the negative reviews, and I figure out whether this product can be trusted, whether it has a good review, should I even invest any fraction of my money into the product or not. So even if you're out there in the mall or in a physical store and you see something which is very enticing and you really want to buy it, you have your smartphone, you can just go online, check the review, see what people are saying about it, and then go on and make the final decision about making that purchase. The next thing I want to talk about is making financial goals for yourself. So when I was younger, I spent money, especially in my 20s and when I started my first job, I spent money here and there trying to buy things that I did not really need. And now that I look back and realize I could have saved so much of money. So it's very important, guys, that you have a financial goal to yourself every month. It can be any sort of a goal. So it can be that you want an X amount, say 3 lakh rupees in your emergency fund, or it could be that you want to make a fixed deposit of a lakh of rupees and you want to keep that aside. So every month you may take some amount of it and add to your financial goals that you may have. For me, for the longest time, it's been for a Europe trip. I've been saving for a Europe trip. I was to go this year, Corona happened, so cannot, but I am still adding to that goal of mine that I do want to spend something on that tour. And yes, that's how it works. So if you have these financial goals in mind, you will be saving for something which is much more worthwhile and not end up splurging money on these impulsive shopping that you don't really need. Having spoken about financial goals, the next thing that I do, and I do this very seriously and very religiously, is I give myself a monthly allowance. So yes, guys, I've taken up blogging. I do make these videos. I am a lot into skincare right now, but I have a monthly allowance that I have given to myself, and I strictly stay in that allowance. So for example, your salary is an X amount. You may decide that every month 3,000 or 5,000 rupees is something that you can afford to shop with. Keep that aside, buy whatever you want to worth that much amount. Anything else that you need to put it on for a later month. So like I spoke about the Estee Lauder serum that I wanted to purchase earlier in one of my points, I had been saving for that serum for 4 months, an X amount aside, and when I had that amount together with me, that is when I went ahead and made that purchase. So although I may earn, although I may know that I can afford the product, it's obviously not necessary that if I can, I should. So I give myself that allowance, I stick to it. Anything new, anything more exciting, anything more tempting goes on to the next month if I cannot get it in that allowance. Last, but something very, very exciting that I have started doing, and I'm really enjoying doing this, is I make a list of all the things that I have not bought in a month. So using all the tips and tricks that I told you earlier in the video, I do make a list of all the things that I have not bought impulsively, and when I total it at the end of the month, I realize that I have saved money. For example, my last month's list totaled to about 6,000 rupees, which is quite a decent amount that I saved, and that sort of fund can go into something else which is much more worthwhile. So there are zillions of options that you can do with that money that you save, wherein you do not invest it into products that you're actually not going to use, and use them a whole lot better. So with this, it's a wrap, and I hope these tips help you. I hope you're able to pick some of them, try to do some of them, and I really hope it helps you in some way or the other. If you feel that this video was helpful to you, do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification icon so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And also, guys, do remember to follow me on Instagram. I'm waiting to get you as a part of my Instagram family. Till then, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.